Hi guys and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard with Top Speed Golf, and today we're going to talk about one move that can give you more lag in the downswing. It can give you more forward shaft lean at impact. It can get you to release the club properly, get you to create more club head speed, and make you overall more consistent. So how would you like to learn one move that can do all those things? I think we all would, and that's what we do with Top Speed Golf is we try to identify the most important aspects of the game, and we fix the one thing that's going to fix 15 or 20 things out in the future. So in today's video, we're going to take a real student that I haven't talked to in a while, sent me a swing, and we identified one of the issues that's causing him. His handicap has gone up over the last year, and we'll just now talk to him for the first time for a long time, and I identified one thing right off the bat that he was able to tweak, already started playing better immediately, and I'm going to show you guys how to do the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so to get started, first let's go over how to do this one move correctly. And what this move is what's called the compression line. So let's go ahead and take Jason Day here. We all know how good he's playing right now. And he has a perfect compression line. So what I mean by compression line, let's go ahead and stop at impact. And at impact, as you contact the ball, your left ankle, your left hip, and your left shoulder should be tilted slightly away from the target. So if we measure this, let's go ahead and measure this from vertical. That way I give you guys a good rule of thumb. If you're looking at video, go ahead and film from face on directly toward the center of your body. And if you draw these same lines from the left ankle up through the left hip and into the left shoulder, we see that Jason's there about 5 degrees tilted away from the target. That's a great amount to be. That's daggone near perfect. And that's going to help with a lot of different things. You can go a little bit more, a little bit less. You know, if you have a driver or an iron, it can shift very slightly, but anywhere between 4 to 6 degrees. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be an exact number, but we want to be tilted away slightly. Is really going to help your compression. It's really going to help your speed and a lot of other things. The reason for this is what we call the straight line release. So as he comes on through, let's go one more click of the frame here. What I call the straight line release is where we're going to fully release all the angles in the golf club, and we're basically going to be splitting the forearms when we do this. So we can see the very first time he splits the forearms is here in front of the ball. So we can imagine, let's go back to contact again, or go back to when the ball was on the ground, and we can see that from there to the point that he was pointing to in the straight line release is about 4 feet in front. That's going to allow him to have forward shaft lean and a lot of other things. So we can see as he's loading up for this, before he's getting into the straight line release, before contact, he's creating a lot of lag. So we have a good sharp angle of lag in the right forearm in the club. And everything between this lagging position, or between the downswing where you're fully lagged out, and the straight line release, we're releasing lag. So you can see as he goes farther down, getting closer and closer to impact. Let's go a few more frames here. We can see that he has less lag now than he did as he was halfway down. So here he had a very sharp angle of lag. Here he has a little bit less lag, and then as he gets into the straight line release, he's lost all his lag completely. So he's creating a lever or a whip out of the golf club to be able to release the golf club. So if we have this in front release position, this straight line release about 4 feet in front roughly, and again that can be a little bit farther or a little bit shorter depending on the club. It's not an exact number, but if we're in this ballpark, we're going to be creating that whip if we go from lag to there and we're releasing the club. Now, having your body angled behind, actually let's go ahead and talk about one more thing, forward shaft lean. This is also going to help with this. So if we go to forward shaft lean, again we can just visualize he's on the way to the straight line release, and that's why he has forward shaft lean. So the forward shaft lean is just kind of an angle between lag and between the straight line release, and it's an active releasing there. Now we can see if we're going to that straight line release position, we can see why it makes it a little bit easier if you're tilted away from the target. And you're going to see this with all great ball strikers. This shallows out your angle of attack so that now you can get into that release position where you release all those angles out in front. So stand up out of your chair real quick and try this out for me. Go ahead and lean to the left to where your left shoulder, instead of being on that line that's tilted away about 5 degrees, go ahead and lean to the left to where you're tilted forward about 15 or 20 degrees, and you're going to see it's almost impossible to release the club up here in front of the ball without flipping and scooping with the hands. Now go ahead and do the opposite. Lean back here where you're way away from the ball, And now you're going to see that you're going to want to go even farther out in front. So this is that good zone in the middle where we're going to have that perfect angle of attack. So now that we know what the good compression line is, we know we should be aiming for that ballpark 4 to 6 degrees at impact. Let's take a look at the student I mentioned earlier, and let's talk about his before and after and what he can do to go ahead and improve. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at Rick's swing. The video on the left is Rick from a little over a year ago, and then the video right is from the current day. And Rick just signed up for our premium website, the Top Speed Golf System, and has been working through the videos, and he spotted something immediately that was really hurting his compression and hurting his solid contact. So we'll go ahead and start with the left. He was playing some really good golf, some of his best golf ever, I believe he said, on the video on the left here. And we'll go ahead and go to the compression line, and we'll see as he's coming down, let's test it out and see if he's at about the right angle that he should be here at contact. So if I grab my angle finder here, just 1 second, I'm going to set this as a vertical line. Again, you guys can do the same thing at home. You know, videotape your swing from face on and see the angle between your left ankle, your left hip, and your left shoulder. So we're seeing he's about 3 degrees tilted away. Now when that happens, we're kind of on the edge of being able to release the club properly, get some good forward shaft lean, and get to the straight line release position. So we're seeing maybe here just a little bit of an earlier release. If he could release it a little bit farther in front, that's going to allow him to have more forward shaft lean, because the farther you think about releasing the club this way in front, the more it's naturally going to be lagging behind the farther back we go. So we're going to have a little bit more forward shaft lean if he can get that body tilted away a little bit more. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the current picture here. I'm going to draw this vertical line. We won't get the exact angle here, but we'll see as he's coming into contact, he's gotten into a little bit of a habit, as we all do. Sometimes we fall into bad habits. As he goes to the top, we call the stable fluid spine, it's leaning a little bit too far to the left. What I'd like to see him do is feel like as he loads up to the top, get a little bit more like he was last year, where he's tilted away from the target a little bit more. So we can see the difference in the body angles, how he's tilted away a little bit more. Get back into that good habit of being tilted away, and then as he starts down, I'll get rid of some of these lines here. As he starts down, that's going to allow him to stay behind this line a little bit. So we can see he's starting to sneak out in front of that line slightly, and then here at impact, we see that his left shoulder is actually in front of that line. As we talked about previously in this video, you get that left shoulder out in front of that line. You know, a lot of people talk about being stacked and this kind of thing, but that's really going to hurt your solid shots, your solid contact, and it's going to hurt your forward shaft lean. What's going to happen as you start to sneak a little bit in front of that line, you're now going to have to flip to release the club, because you're going to be coming down a little steep into the ground. You're going to end up flipping. And we can see here how he's flipped the hands. The left wrist is breaking down here, and he's not getting that good consistent release point. So we can see how he's losing a little bit of an angle coming through there and cupping it a little bit. So what I would recommend, Rick, is go ahead, work on getting tilted away a little bit more in the backswing. That's going to get you ahead of the 8-ball, so that when you start down, you're going to feel like as you're in your downswing, somebody has a rope tied to your left back pant pocket, and they have a rope tied to your left shoulder, and they're going to be pulling both of these ropes as you start down. So you're going to be spinning open, rotating open, as you should be, but you're also going to be going a little bit farther back away from the target. That's going to allow you to get tilted away and to release out in front a little bit better. Another great way to check this, if you know, everybody always likes to have some checkpoints. If we set up from face on again and we draw a vertical line straight up and down like this, at impact, I'd like to see the nose a little bit behind this line and the belt buckle a little bit in front of this line. So we can see he's starting to sneak out in front there a little bit more, and now the nose gets out in front of that line at contact, and the belt buckle's also out in front of that line. So if we were to look at Jason Day there, let's actually pull him up really quick. Okay, so here we got Jason. We're going to put that vertical line right in the middle of the stance, and we can see as he's coming into contact, you'll see the nose is behind that line a good 2-3 inches. That's great, and the belt buckle is in front of that. That's allowing that body to tilt away again, and again, it's getting everything releasing up in front to that straight line release, which is going to improve consistency, forward shaft lean, lag, club head speed, all that kind of good stuff. So Now before you get started with working on the drills, there's two videos that I want you to watch on top of this. And if you're in the Top Speed Golf system, go to the compression line section. So we have a full series of videos on how to get in the compression line. Watch video 1.2 where I talk about some hip and shoulder alignments as you get in there. And open those hips a little bit more. I know we didn't get into this video, but that's going to help you to get tilted away a little bit more and still feel like you're making some solid contact. And also watch, as we're going into the straight line release, watch video 1.2 where we have a great drill where you can release toward a golf ball in front. And I go over some really cool videos in there that are going to help you to get this down too. So work on those drills, get in the reps, take it to the range, make a lot of swings, check it on camera. Good luck, and I'll see you soon. All right, guys, so I got a great bonus for you today. If you want to build some massive lag to pair up with this good release, you know, lag and release go together hand in hand. I got to build up a ton of lag, then I got to release it to get speed. I got a great video that's absolutely free of charge. I'm going to show you the #1 mistake that I see people make when trying to build lag. I'm going to play a preview of that video here in a second. If you want to see the entire thing, just click the link that pops up on your screen or down below in the description, and you guys are going to start doubling your lag really soon. So good luck, and I'll see you all in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then release lag.